Imagine a massive, unmovable boulder blocking your path. You strike it with a sledgehammer. Nothing happens. You hit it again, swinging with all your might. Your hands bleed. You are exhausted. The boulder hasn't moved an inch. This is how we are taught to pursue success in the modern world. We believe in massive, violent bursts of effort. But nature does not work this way. A single drop of water falling on that same boulder, it seems weak, it seems pathetic. But over 1,000 years, that droplet will cleave the stone in half. This is the exact philosophy behind the most powerful psychological framework on Earth. It built the modern Japanese empire out of the ashes of war. It is called Kaizen, and it is the ultimate cheat code for the human brain. What if you could trick your mind into loving the hardest work imaginable? Look around you. We are drowning in hustle culture. Wake up at 4 a.m., take an ice bath, grind until your eyes bleed. We are addicted to the overnight transformation, the montage where the hero gets shredded in 3 minutes. But your brain is biologically wired to hate this. Massive changes trigger an alarm bell in your head. It's called the amygdala. When you declare, "I am going to work out for 2 hours today," your amygdala panics. It floods your system with cortisol, the stress hormone. Your brain perceives this massive goal as a literal threat to your survival. So, what does it do? It paralyzes you. You sit on the couch. You scroll through your phone. You feel profound guilt, but you physically cannot move. You think you are lazy. You think you lack discipline. You are not lazy. You are just fighting millions of years of evolution. This is where the Japanese philosophy of Kaizen changes everything. Kaizen translates to continuous improvement, but it's not a business strategy. It's a psychological hijacking. Kaizen asks one simple question: what is the smallest possible step I can take right now? A step so tiny, so ridiculously easy that it is impossible to fail. Instead of working out for 2 hours, you do 1 push-up. Instead of writing a whole book, you write 1 single sentence. Here is the neuroscience behind why this feels like magic. When the task is microscopic, the amygdala stays asleep. No alarm bells, no cortisol, no fight or flight response. You slip right past your brain's ancient defense mechanisms. You become a ghost, sneaking past the guards of procrastination. You are lowering the barrier to entry to absolute zero. And once you start, the physics of the mind take over. Isaac Newton said an object in motion stays in motion. The human mind obeys this exact same law of physics. Doing 1 push-up requires almost 0 willpower. But once you are on the floor, something incredible happens. Your brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine. Dopamine is not just the pleasure chemical. It is the molecule of motivation. That micro win signals to your brain that you are succeeding. It makes you want to do just 1 more. So you do 2 push-ups, then 3. Before you know it, you have worked out for 20 minutes. You did not use discipline to get there. You used momentum. This is how you trick your brain into craving the work. You feed it a trail of endless, easy dopamine breadcrumbs. You engineer a biological addiction to forward progress. But the true power of Kaizen goes deeper than dopamine. It physically rewires your identity over time. Every time you take a tiny action, you are casting a vote for the type of person you are becoming. When you fail massive goals, you subconsciously label yourself a failure. You internalize the belief that you are simply not good enough. Kaizen destroys this negative feedback loop entirely, because you never fail the microscopic goal. You build an unbroken chain of daily victories. Day by day, your self-image begins to shift. You stop being someone who wishes they were productive. You become someone who executes every single day. It is no longer a task you have to do. It becomes a fundamental part of who you are. Your identity hardens like steel, forged in tiny fires. But beware, this path is not without its traps. The biggest enemy of Kaizen is your own ego. Your ego wants glory. It wants the massive applause right now. When you tell your friends you only read 1 page today, they might laugh. It feels embarrassing. It feels slow. Our society mocks the slow approach. You will feel a desperate urge to rush the process. Do not fall for the trap. The moment you increase the difficulty too fast, the amygdala wakes up. The fear returns. The paralysis sets back in. You must silence the ego and embrace the microscopic. Trust the silent, invisible power of compound interest. A 1% improvement every day is practically invisible at first. But over a year, you become 37 times better. You must trade the illusion of overnight success for the reality of daily evolution. I used to stare at my ceiling, paralyzed by my own ambition. My dreams were so big, they crushed the breath out of me. I was the sledgehammer, bleeding against the unmovable stone. But then I stopped trying to move mountains. I started carrying away 1 pebble at a time. And that is the beautiful, quiet secret of Kaizen. You do not need superhuman discipline. You do not need to hurt yourself to prove your worth. You just need the courage to take a step so small it feels silly. Let go of the mountain. Look at the pebble at your feet. Pick it up. That is it. That is the whole secret. Tomorrow, pick up another one. The time will pass anyway. You might as well build an empire, 1 invisible drop at a time. Become the water. Become unstoppable.